Hello, it's Uncommon Fossil. Today, I'm taking a look at a Dondozo deck. This was a basic Pokemon that came out in Scarlet and Violet base set. It is a tanky single prize base, get 160 HP, and attacks release rage for 2 colorless energy, which a lot of times you're paying for with a single attachment of a DTE. Of course, it reduces damage by 20, so just keep that in mind. And the attack does 50 damage per each Tatsugiri in your discard pile. There's a second attack for 4 energy, but not utilizing that very often. So let's take a look at Tatsugiri, which came out in the same set. It is very important. Obviously, you need to get these in the discard pile right away, but it does have a useful attack of Mice in Place, if that's how you say it, I'm not certain. For 1 water energy, you search your deck for up to 2 basic water energies and attach them to one of your basic Pokemon, then shuffle your deck. So if you have to start a Tatsugiri, you use that attack, Mice in Place, and get your 2 energies onto Dondozo, getting it set up. And then if your Tatsugiri is knocked out, which is probably what you're planning on, which is likely to happen, that's okay, because now your Dondozo does 50 more damage. And you don't have to attach double turbo energy to it, so you're doing the full damage amount. And then you can use curl up at 30 if your opponents are not going to be kind and knock you out, where it does 30 damage and places the card and all attached Pokemon and all attached cards into your hand. So then you can discard the next turn. So what do we have to set things up? One of the things is we play Squawkabilly EX, just 1 copy. I think, if it's prized, well, that's just unfortunate. You could play 2 copies to deal with that, but you're going to be able to access it most of the time on turn 1 with a single copy, I find. So I'm happy with just one copy of Squawkabilly EX, and it makes any deck like this that wants to get cards in the discard pile better. And it also just helps set up faster, right? Squawk and Seize ability. Once during your turn, you may discard your hand and draw 6 cards. So terrific. But you can only do this on your first turn. So that is a big caveat there. So, which is why you only play 1 also. You can't use it twice. So, and then you can attack with it with Motivate. It does 20 damage for colorless energy, where you attach 2 basic energies from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. So you can set up a Dondozo that way also. It's not preferred. You could play Thornton in the deck. I believe I've taken that. I've had it in and out of the deck. I believe when we get to the trainers, we'll see it's gone. I could be wrong, right? But Thornton allows you to replace a benched or in one of your basic Pokemon play with one of your basic Pokemon from the discard pile. So that's a way to get Squawkabilly out of play, or also a Tatsugiri. So Thornton does have potential value in this deck. Then I'm playing 2 Articuno. I've seen lists, some that play no Articuno, some that play up to 4. I'm going in the middle with 2. What that does is got the ability Ice symbol. Your basic water Pokemon's attacks except Articuno do 10 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. I went with 2. It gives the potential for hitting 220 with Dondozo if I have 4 Tatsugiri in the discard pile. Don't have to attach double turbo, but you do get 2 water energy attached and have 2 Articuno in play. You're not pulling that off a lot, so but I don't feel like I can afford bench space for more than 2 Articuno, so 3 or 4 doesn't make sense. Could drop it altogether. I have played it without it. I'm not sure at the moment whether it's better to have it in the deck or not. One of the things I like with Dondozo is there's different ways to play it. What do you do for an engine? Do you play Articuno or not? There's decks, like I said, that play 4, some that play none. I think it has some value. And then I went with the engine with a Kirlia engine, refinement ability, right? You discard a card from hand. You want to get those Tatsugiris in the discard pile, so it helps with that. And then you draw 2 cards. So a nice little draw engine, and one that discards, I think, makes sense with this deck to get those Tatsugiris in the discard pile. Playing the 4 double turbo. That's the simplest way to power up the Dondozo. And then 6 basic water energies. Again, we can pay for our attacks with that. And also, we will play Raihan, which needs basic energy. So 4 Ultra Ball, search out Pokemon, get stuff in the discard pile. 2 Raihan if your Pokemon's knocked out during your opponent's last turn. Attach a basic energy from your discard pile to one of your Pokemon, and then search your deck for any 1 card. So quite a nice card if you're getting knocked out. And yes, it's a single prizer, so we're going to get knocked out a bunch, but that's okay as long as, if they take 1 prize per turn, we have a lot of turns. And like I said, Dondozo is tanky, so some decks will struggle to one-shot you, and that's a plus. I put in 2 Irida. I think that's a nice card. Search your deck for a water Pokemon and an item. One Zinnia is a Resolve, a nice card for a deck like this. Also, you discard 2 cards from hand, like to discard things, and then draw a card for each of your opponent's Pokemon in play. And if a lot of decks like a nice full bench, that would draw you 6 cards if they have a full bench. 4 Trekking Shoes. Originally, I didn't have Trekking Shoes, but I like it. I think it just makes the deck a little more consistent. It shortens the deck list. You see more cards. It helps get you cards in the discard pile again, which we want to do. Playing 1 Hisuian Heavy Ball, I think that's enough considered at times. I think I've played 2 at times, because obviously if you have multiple Tatsugiris prized, it's rough, but that doesn't happen often enough, I think, to require 2 Hisuian Heavy Balls. 2 Ionos, just a nice little draw or disruption for your opponent also. 4 Research, just to help set up. 2 Superior Energy Retrievals. We do play basic Water Energy, so it gets us, so we can use it, and sometimes you want to have a Water Energy in hand to attach, but also a big part of it is, since we don't have Quick Ball in format, an item to discard cards is very valuable, right? Right now, the only item, well, Trekking Ball has it, but you have to get lucky with that, so Ultra Ball is the card that lets you discard from your hand by your choice. So Superior Energy Retrieval, 2 more cards besides Ultra Ball to help with the discard. So that's why I like it in a deck like this. 3 Switch cards. I don't play Rope. You can kind of play around with that count as you wish. 1 Super Rod. You know, especially in a single prize matchup, we need to be able to attack with 6 Dondozo over a lot of games, or even multi-prizers too, because we're not one-shotting. We're often 2-shotting multi-prizers, which we can still win the prize race, but things have to go our way. So Super Rod might need a second Super Rod, I gotta say, because if you research it away early, which you might have to do, you can be in trouble. So might need a second Super Rod. 1 Pal Pad has some value. Perhaps that should be replaced with a Super Rod or something. 3 Nest Balls just to help get both basics in play. 1 Professor Burnet. I like that, right? You search out 2 cards from your deck, and then you discard them, so it's a guaranteed, as long as they're in the deck, 2 Tatsugiri in the discard pile, which can be the best play once you're attacking, you know, a Dondozo and energy in play, and 2 Boss's Orders just to help control what we're hitting into. So I found this list to be working pretty well. Let's jump in the rank ladder, see how it performs. I've been messing around with decks lately, and my ranking plunged within a day by a couple hundred points, I gotta say. All right, so doing heads up. But the Dondozo's the strong deck amongst the ones I've been playing recently. I was working on Wormadam, not the Zoroark, but just a straight-up Wormadam deck. Didn't have a lot of success there. Looking at Braxton, which does damage based on Serenas in the discard pile. Then that one was struggling too. I think this is certainly a more solid deck than those. All right, I'll start the Dondozo. I don't have energy. Getting energy in hand is a bit tricky, right? Doesn't play a ton of energy. Up against a lightning deck, well, that's not great. I'm weak to them. They're going to one-shot me anyway with most of their Pokemon, so it probably doesn't matter. We'll see what happens. They'll set up pretty well, right? Probably a Miraidon deck, so they'll set up quickly, and you know, they can struggle to close out games, but this is not a top meta deck, I think it's fair to say. I think it's a reasonable choice, though, so I don't think it's anything to feel bad about playing, but you're not going to be super favored in a lot of matchups. All right, let's get this game going, please. You know, there's just these delays in the game. Not sure what's taking so long. Perhaps they're playing on mobile or something and are distracted. Don't know. All right, so my opponent. So I get to draw an energy. That is nice. If I had that, I might have started Tatsugiri. Okay, that's decent. Let's see what I hit with. I'll discard the Kirlia. Not thrilled about it. I do have Super Rod right now. Yes, do that for sure. All right, so I think I want to do, let's see what I have in deck. I think I want to do Squawkabilly, though. I'll use the Super Rod first, I think, to get the Kirlia into the deck. Getting a Water Energy in the discard pile is a plus also. So I like that. Obviously do not want to play down a I'll leave the Dondozo inactive. All right, well, that's not bad. So I'll toss down these guys and then end turn. So Articuno, right, I give you 10 more damage with my Dondozo right now. With a DTE, I'm doing 50, 60. I'm doing 40 damage, so not a big number. It does take a little bit to get going sometimes. So I'll have to think through what I'm doing here. I need energy, though, right? That's my big thing. I do have energy in the discard pile, so I could Raihan if I'm knocked out. I imagine I'm knocked out, I will say. I imagine they're searching for Raihan EX, but we will see. And, yeah, so not much to say. I kind of feel like I should fill the space, but right now my opponent's not doing much. Okay, so maybe they don't play Raihan EX. Okay. Raiku's a good attacker, obviously. I think it will knock me out at this point. Playing Arven, so Electric Generator. They need to get a Switch card also, of course. See what they hit. They got one, which means they have to attach by hand. So I don't know if they have a Switch card. They have Switch. Okay, so they're getting the knockout. Unfortunately for me. I was hoping that they didn't have the Switch card, and then by having to attach the second energy to Raikou, they couldn't have attacked. But there we go. They get the knockout. Not the greatest start for me, but let's see what we can do. So Professor's Burnet, but I can't utilize Burnet because I've got to research. So I will grab a Tatsugiri, get him in the discard pile, and let's just look at the energy count. I've got to hit. I have to hit a DTE in order to be able to attack. So I need to draw into that. I won't get knockout. It's not great. Okay, that's not bad. Not bad. All right, Tatsugiri. So at the moment, so right now I'm doing 90, not terrible. I want to discard that Tatsugiri. I could get it up to get the damage up to 100. Now get rid of. I need to get rid of Tatsugiri. I think I get rid of. I'll get rid of this energy. Get a Dondozo for next turn. I don't have an engine, but I'm gonna get knocked out, so I need to be able to stream attackers. Right, that's my thought right now. So put him down to, let's do 150. So that's not bad. I mean, one more. You know, I was one Tatsugiri away from getting the knockout. Right, I needed to have 4, and then 4 plus the DTE. And the 2 Articunos get I lose 20 for the DTE. I would get 20 back for the Articunos. So the Articunos had value in this, and I can knock out that Retrieval EV. Let's see what they do. They might go to the VMAX. Obviously, their walling attack is going to be annoying to me. I will say that. Okay, upping their HP. So so we'll see what happens here. So I will take. Well, I need to. If I hit energy, I have a research, so that's not bad. Water, that's no good because if I had Raihan, that would be okay. All right. Well, that's a pretty nice set of cards actually. Let's look at my deck here. So I need a Dondozo to attack next turn, right? I mean, Ralts down would be nice also, but I like having my next attacker, right? Because otherwise I need to have a switch card. So, and I can discard with energy retrieval next turn if need be. So that's not bad. All right, they're going to attach. I'm going to have a hard time getting through that Retrieval V. They take 100 less damage. They one-shot me. I think I just play the one rod, right? Superior Super Rod. And it's discarded, so I'm going to run out of attackers. That's going to be the problem. I'm going to lose this game because I can't stream attacking. So, I mean, I can ultimately try to set up an Articuno or something, but that's not going to be good. So, this game shows me that I desperately need a another Super Rod, right? Because I had to discard it, right? That was the right play. Toss down the Ralts, I guess. Actually, I've just tossed away the game, haven't I? So, because I can't attack. I guess I was hoping to get lucky. All right, I'm going to concede. And I think... I guess I should have sent up another Pokemon. Save the Dondozo. I think, based on that game, I'm going to make a change on the fly in the middle of this video. Don't normally do that. I have been messing around with this Dondozo deck a good bit. Am I, it's dangerous making a change based on one game, but I have played enough to know it's a concern. I'm going to add a second Super Rod. I don't think I want to cut energy. Keep the Pokemon. I'm thinking I'm going to cut a superior energy retrieval. Let me just take a glance through things. Yeah, I can... That's okay, getting rid of that, I believe. So I'm going to just make that one change, second Super Rod. Let's jump in the ladder, see how the deck performs. Made that one change. It's not, like I said, I shouldn't make that change just based upon the last game, but I've had a number of games where that's been important. I have played two rods a lot of the time, so I think I need to put that second rod back in. So we'll see what happens this game. Obviously, it's not make or break for whether that decision was correct, but would like to show off the deck because it can set up, it can do its job, but it can also come up a little short, which is what it did there. And obviously, I ran myself out of attackers, right? Running attackers and the energy line isn't huge with this, so I can get myself in trouble because of that. But we'll see what happens here. All right, starting. Am I going second? I think I am, right? But all right, we'll do this. See what we can do. I could have started Tatsugiri, of course, and used the mice in place attack. It's a pretty decent hand. I really would like to get a DTE attached to a Dondozo. The downside to that is if I search out a Dondozo with the Ultra Ball, then I don't... that's one less Tatsugiri in the discard pile, and that could be costly also. So at this point, Trekking Shoes, see what I hit off that. Let's see where we go from there. Excuse me. Excuse the yawning. All right, again, another game where my opponent's taking a while to just say done and get the game started, right? You really, you bench your starter. There's very, very little reason to bench something else. I guess they could, I could play Gape Draw Bog. That's the one thing. So let's see. Dondozo, yes. So that is awesome because I can now Dondozo and attach the energy. Ultra Ball, yes. This is a great start. So attach. I need to do these plays. Need to get rid of Tatsugiri and Rod. And then I can grab it, and then I can discard this Tatsugiri, right? I can grab another Tatsugiri. Let's see what I have. All my Dondozos, Articuno. Okay. And then I discard this Tatsugiri. And I grab another one, so I'm getting 3 Tatsugiris in the discard pile turn 1. That is a nice start. And okay, and this is solid. And I will throw him down too. And end turn. I can hard retreat off my Squawkabilly. Now the Articunos are vulnerable to being gusted up. That's one danger to them. They have a retreat cost of 2, and I have had opponents kind of cause me some grief there. In Dondozo, if they gust up a Dondozo on the bench that doesn't have energy, well, you have 4. Retreat cost is 4, so you're not getting out of there. I mean, I do play, I think, 3 Switch. So let's see what happens. With the DTE, I will not one-shot the Chen Pal. Right? I can only do 200, and that's assuming I get my second Articuno down. So I don't play Manaphy. So that could be an issue. Kyogre's definitely makes my life difficult. So that's okay. The Frigiback's the basic. I'm not used to that art. I'm not so familiar with this art, but that's nice. So Irida, rare. I got the rare candy, so I really wish I had a hand disruption card, right? Because they can't play the rare candy. So Irida for rare candy on a turn you're not using, it's always a risk. It's going to work out for them, but I don't recommend that play. So I'm going to Irida, probably. Actually, maybe I boss. If they only have the 1 Frigibacks in play, I'm going to gust up the Frigibacks. I can hard retreat, take out the Frigibacks. Puts them in a bit of an awkward spot, I think. If they get down a second Frigibacks, though, then that changes the whole situation. If they only have 1 Frigibacks, then I take it out. They can't get Baxcalibur down next turn, so I like that. We'll see, you know. Again, see what they do. They have a lot of cards in hand, so good for them. Obviously, they have Radiant Greninja. I could play Radiant Greninja to get a bit of an engine. I think, honestly, the Kirlias have not been going great with this. I was thinking Kirlia get cards discarded, but between Squawkabilly, like this game, I got Tatsugiri's discarded pretty quickly. Oh, did they take a Bravery, not a rare candy? Maybe I was wrong about that. I think it was rare candy, but anyway, it doesn't really matter. Oh, okay, that's nice. So I can use the Switch card this turn. So I'm going to take you out. Swing in with you. Attach here, which starts to give me the option of... I mean, I need to get the right pieces still, but it starts to give me the option towards one-shotting a Chowpen. Or Chen Pal, sorry. Chen Pal, right? Which would be nice. So maybe, yeah, I haven't been... The Kirlias, like this last game, the Kirlia never got going. This game... might not get the Kirlias going again, so maybe this is the wrong engine. Maybe it just needs to be a full basic deck. Radiant Greninja certainly could be a piece in the deck. The Kirlia concept I like, but it's not working out for me. So I think I'm going to ditch the Kirlias. I think I'm going to do some radical changes after this game. Chuck away the Kirlias. Because I just can't get the pieces. I like the Articunos on the bench. I might even increase the number of Articunos. And maybe I'll put a Radiant Greninja in. And then I want to increase my energy count a little bit. I dropped, 4 cards for the Kirlias. Or no, 6 cards. I think it's a 3-3 line. Okay, well, this is good. I can't get the knockout, but... So what do I want to get here? They couldn't get going at all that turn. So Irida, Tatsugiri, pretty sure I want to discard this Tatsugiri, right? I think I might even want to get down. So now the Ralts, I will get down a Ralts this turn, I think. Seems like the play. So what do I want to get rid of along with... I think I can get rid of Super Rod, right? Yeah, get rid of Super Rod. Because I might... Irida might be my play next turn. Not positive about it, but... Okay, so this is a very... The fact they couldn't attack, the fact that... I mean, they couldn't have attacked... They weren't unable to attach a basic energy last turn is quite nice. I couldn't attach energy, unfortunately, but I just need one to get going, so have Kirlia. You know, I might end up needing that superior energy retrieval. Well, probably not. Well, possibly. I'm sorry. The superior energy retrieval would get me that energy into hand next turn, right? Because I have one water in the discard, so it would have gotten me that. But I would have had to discard 2 cards to do it. I want to play the Kirlia. I could have discarded the Irida plus something else, gotten the 1 energy. Of course, then I couldn't have used the Kirlia. No, I could have used the Kirlia engine because I'm guaranteed I get 2 cards for the 1. And I would have had 3 cards, could have kept 1 card in hand at the end of things. So this is going well. I mean, the best part about this game, well, 2 things. My opponents struggled, and they have a huge hand, so I'm really surprised by that. But Tatsugiri, I got 4 Tatsugiris in the discard pretty quickly, right? So, and they can only do 120, so they cannot knock me out this turn. So, okay. So Frigibacks. So they're going to get going next turn. I do play multiple boss in the deck, so if I happen to get boss, that would be super awesome. They have Palkia, so Palkia will get them energy back too. I don't play any stadiums, certainly not Path, and I don't play Path. So, all right, so they're guaranteed to take a knockout next turn. But at this point, well, as it stands now, I'll take 2 prizes. They might retreat. Well, they need a switch card of some sort, right? Because they've attached manually to the bench, so they can't just a hard retreat. Because they have the Palkia, that gets energies from the discard. The Frigibacks can become Baxcalibur, which I'm pretty sure they have the pieces for that. So they have definite guaranteed energy acceleration next turn. So they have enough to knock out, one-shot any of my Pokemon next turn. Things are getting slow here, though, so I would like to see things speed up. Okay, my turn, and I understand thinking through what they're doing. Let's see what I get. Sure, I'll take that. Do I want an Irida? I get a Pokemon, and I think I want an Irida, right? Kind of, I want to get down. I'll grab the Articuno. I'll go get the big damage. That gets me the chance to knock out the Palkia next turn, potentially, right? I like that. Okay. I'm going to Kirlia away the Nest Ball. I was thinking, I grabbed 1 card. Sorry, I wasn't talking, but I was thinking. Sorry. Not sorry for thinking. Sorry. So I was thinking, I wanted the item that is nice too. So Raihan, super good. That was a great 2 card. And I have Research, which of course is great too. So Articuno, doing 200 with him. So I one-shot the Kyogre Dondozo with DTE. At this point, I one-shot a Chow Pen with Baxcalibur without DTE. I one-shot the Palkia V, if that's what I get. So a nice hand there. So let's see. They haven't taken a prize yet. I would like to get another Dondozo down next turn. The nice thing, Greninja can't take out 2 Dondozos. So the danger is, if they were to hit into my 2 Dondozos with Greninja and hit in the following turn, with it. They'd have to recover it because I'd knock out the Dondozo. Yep, so they grabbed the rare candy. I think they've had that rare candy since turn 1, since the start of the game. I think since turn 1. Finally get to use it now. A bunch of turns in. Don't know. Can't tell how many turns in because there's no game log. Pokemon, please give us a game log. We really do need that. So anyway, so the Kirlia engine has worked this game. So, yeah, I'm trying not to be overly reactive to things, right? Obviously, this game I didn't need Super Rod at all. But having one, I still might need it though, right? I don't expect to cruise to victory without any bumps in the road. So my opponent's going to start taking prizes this turn. They're going to knock me out, and I'm not going to one-shot the Palkia V-Star, right? I assume they're going to evolve to the V-Star. If they can knock me out without having the V-Star. If they attack with Palkia, and maybe it looks like they are because they attach 3, right? Palkia V-Star just takes 2 energy. So they should have used Radiant Greninja before accelerating to Baxcalibur, I will say. So they might Irida, they might Iono me, which will be annoying. It's a really nice hand. But I have the Kirlia down, so that's good. The other engine I've thought about is certainly the Barrel engine, because I do find myself with small hands with this deck, so a Barrel could be nice. A Barrel with Squovit, or even just a Barrel, because like I find myself in a lot of turns with small hands the way this deck has been functioning, because I'm discarding because I'm getting cards in the discard, and you have to, all the discards are discard 2, draw 1, basically. Well, not Superior Energy Retrieval, but Ultra Ball being the main one. So the Kirlia grows the hand, but slowly. The advantage to Kirlia, besides now that it's set up, it is good. It would, it does get rid of those Tatsugiris early on. So get Chen Pao down, so they can take out. One card. Okay, so this is nice. So they're giving me Palkia this turn. That is tremendous. Now the problem I have right now is that I don't have a Dondozo in hand, right? So I think I want to Kirlia. And I'll get away with research. I have 2. I don't need 2. I would love to Raihan. I don't. All right, what am I going to do here? It's a good. What do I do here? So I'm guessing. I guess I'm going to Raihan. I don't love the Raihan play. I really don't, because I don't have Dondozo in play. I really wanted Dondozo in play. What's the energy cap? 2. I could. I have another Raihan. All right, so Dondozo. I think I want. So I have the decision here to attach. I want to attach an energy. I do the knockout. So I think I want to attach a basic energy to Dondozo, not DTE. The reason is I can take out a Chen Pao next turn with Dondozo if I attach an energy. Of course, I have to get that energy, right? Which is a risk, obviously. But one, obviously, I've decided to take. If I don't draw into energy, basic energy, I do have the DTE right now I could attach. All right, 2 switch cards is good. Did I discard a switch card? I did. All right, I might have played it. I think I got the Squawkabilly out of the active. So now I'm down to 1 prize. So Kyogre. And the nice thing is Kyogre, even if I have to attach the DTE, so it does 180 damage to any one of my Pokemon, which is quite nice, but I will win the game the following turn. I should win next turn. Iono will be difficult. I'll go to 1, then I draw per turn, and I have Kirlia to see 2 more cards. So I'll see a total of 4 cards, even with Iono. No, they could Iono me and take out my Kirlia. Well, if they Iono me and take out my Kirlia, I just knock them out with Dondozo for game, right? So that's okay. They obviously can't leave the game in a situation, in a board state where they lose next turn. So I assume they're attacking with Kyogre. I don't... That seemed like an odd play. Okay. I guess it doesn't particularly matter. I think I would have thrown 1 energy onto the Palkia in case they wanted to go with that. Because the Palkia, if they can evolve it to the V-Star next turn, if I don't win this turn, which... I mean, they might retreat and hit with Chen Pao. That's probably they really should attack with Chen Pao. They can take the knockout. They have to get rid of all their energy in the process. They have to retreat away the 3 energies unless they play the Skaters Park Stadium, which I haven't seen. So they're bossing. So they're gonna. Okay. So they're gonna hit on the bench. So all right. I have Switch though. I have DTE. I have Game. I do believe, right? They're going to take out the Dondozo on the bench with the energy. I have the 2 cards I need. I do 20 less damage with Dondozo, but I have the 2 Articunos in play, so I should have everything I need. What are they? Ah, okay. Okay, so now that, all right. Well, that's a good play on their part. I'd say. Okay. All right, interesting. I don't love they're setting up the Kyogre. Why are they doing this? I guess they're trying to thin their deck. All right, so they're back. So what are they going to do now? I think I have game at this point. Assuming they're attacking with Kyogre. I guess they haven't retreated yet, though, right? So Kyogre, even with DTE, does 180. So get to 190. They're retreating again. Okay, I'm not sure. I don't know what they're doing. So I'm not going to try and figure out my math here. No, sorry, that was the attack. They weren't retreating. Okay, so a smart play. I get the play. I don't think they should have used the switch like they did. But anyway, that's fine. And I'll just Raihan to him. Why not? I could attach my DTE, but might as well just do this. And grab 1 card, grab a Dondozo, I guess. Doesn't matter at all. And I do 220 damage. So I didn't need the Raihan, but figured why not since I got it. So anyway, so got through that game. So the deck, up against a match. Now my opponents, some of the opponent's plays didn't quite understand. Doesn't mean they were wrong. I mean, we all make mistakes, so they might have. So if they did, it doesn't. It's not the worst thing in the world. But I might have misunderstood. I obviously don't know what's in their hand. I don't know what they're thinking about game wise. So there's the deck. I made the 1 change after the first game, adding the second Super Rod, which I do like, and I am going to keep the deck list the way it finished this game at this point. I'm not going to mess with the Kirlias. Going to keep that. I'm still not certain about that, though. I will put that out there. There's decks that play no engine. There's decks that play different engines. Could put it Radiant Greninja. There's different ways to make it. There's decks that don't have no engine, just play 4 Articunos, which has certain advantages. You can, with the Squawkabilly and Ultra Ball, get the Tatsugiri discarded quickly. But even if you do, I think I still want an engine because I still need pieces later in the game to close things out. So I think some engine is necessary. I think Kirlia is the logical choice still. You can let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And have a good day playing Pokemon. And certainly give Dondozo a try. Take care.